can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch It, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Great Productions. Today we are back with a YouTube exclusive mini episode where we'll spend the next 15-30 minutes discussing the Amazon series, The Boys. This week, we discuss Season 4, Episodes 5 through 9. The Boys stars Karl Urban, Antony Starr, Jack Quaid, Erin Moriarty, Jessie T. Usher, Laz Alonso, Chace Crawford, Homer Capone, Karen Fukuhara, Colby Minifie, Cameron Crovetti, and Claudia Doumit. I am one of your hosts. My name is Robbie, and alongside me, cousin Benny. How we doing?
Doing good, cousin Robbie. What's your safe word?
Sugar smacks. And alongside the cuz and myself, good friend and co-host, Ryan. What's your safe word?
Sassafras.
Nice.
Yeah.
Benny, what's your safe word?
Penguin.
Nice.
Nice. And Robbie, I think I jammed you up because we were talking about episodes 5 through 8 this week, not 5 through 9.
Yeah. Did I say 9?
Yeah.
Who's an asshole? Me? Who's the asshole? Me?
No, we're all assholes.
Hand up. Man up.
Listen, we're talking about the second half of the season and the finale. We'll probably end up talking about the season as a whole a little bit. But yeah, I mean, first off, what'd you boys think? I love
Robbie.
it.
Yeah, Robbie, go ahead.
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely loved the season. I was talking to Ryan on a world famous Going Great podcast about a little bit of it. That the political satire stuff didn't drag on me. I don't know. I guess I was in on a joke. Maybe some people who aren't in on a joke find it a little dumb and a little offensive, but it wasn't in your face every single episode. I was more intrigued by the what's going to come next and the zaniness of that. I mean, there's some times with, like I said, with Homeland on the screen, I never knew what I was going to get, and that's where my anxiety would come from. Like, oh man, what's going to happen now? But I mean, it's a show that always tops me with things that I don't think they can top me with, like flying sheep and things like that. Um, I think I was kind of already into the entire Butcher, seeing fake people, seeing dead people. Shout out Bruce Willis and my Shyamalan. Where you at? But yeah, no, I thought this was a fantastic season. I thought the last 4 episodes were great as well. Of course, are there slower episodes that weren't that good? Yeah, of course, they're going to get that in every series. But this was a very solid season. I loved the season finale. Unexpected. Didn't think things were going to happen. A lot of twists and turns. But yeah, I'm excited. I was excited for the season. It's definitely number 1 on my list of the series that we cover right now at the moment for this show. I know I enjoyed it. I'm telling you right now, I there was some fantastic acting this season. Truly great acting by everybody on the show. I didn't find one person annoying. I didn't find one person terrible. I mean, there's some characters that I hate, but everybody acted A+. Really great acting. And no, I loved this season. I really did.
Yeah. Benny, what about you? Because you watched all the last, 3 or 4 episodes, like pretty much in a row. So I'm curious what you thought watching it that way versus I think both of us watched it week to week.
Yeah, I watched the last 3 episodes last night, and it was a lot to take in one night because there's just so much going on for those last 3 episodes. But it was good. I understand what you're saying, Robbie, how it's your favorite. It's definitely the most balls to the wall out of the 3 that we're watching. Like House of the Dragon's been a little slow. The Bear is kind of on its own anxiety ride that's a little bit more mellow, whereas this is just in your face from Jump Street. I liked the character development from all the characters this year. I liked MM's storyline. I liked Starlight actually getting more of like her backstory and how she is dealing with not being a superhero anymore and not wanting that identity. I loved Huey's storyline this season. I know, Robbie, you felt like you were out on it early in the season, but I really thought that they they picked up as the season went on. I had a feeling Butcher was not necessarily on death's door. I think it's just him having to learn how to harness the power that he has now, and we definitely saw that at the end of the season. That was wild.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Frenchie, say less. He's one of the best, and then Kimiko is just such a badass. And then interested to see what her character is going to be like next year because she's obviously seems like she's going to start talking, but it's going to be wild. And I was a little upset that next season was going to be the last season, but I think they set us up to where next season has to be the last season. And as long as they land the plane next season, well, I'll be happy with this series as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that because I feel like so many shows that are popular, then, of course the networks or whomever stands to make money is like, all right, drag it out, drag it out. And like then you get these like things where it's like, oh, there's a victory and we won against this issue that's been happening to us, but it's like, oh, but there's someone else stronger or something else is happening or whatever. I feel like they need to end this, and as much as I would want more, I feel like they would then be dragging it out too much because there was a lot of criticism online about this season even kind of dragging a little bit. And I was curious to see what you thought, Benny, because watching a couple of them in a row, I don't think you would get that because it was like just hit me like, yeah, okay, there was episodes where maybe Frenchie and Kimiko were like all right, like let's go. Like why is he in jail for a short period of time? Like MM, like same thing. What's his name? Huey. Like all these characters, there was definitely chit chat on the interwebs like things are slow, it needs to speed up, like why are we doing this again, like it's not plot development. But I think looking at it as a whole, there was a lot of character development, and I like where it ended up. I mean, the season finale was fantastic. A lot of great things, a lot of twists. I did not expect Newman to get killed or ripped in half, so yeah, a lot of good this season. Very much enjoyed it. I'm sad that we gotta wait probably who knows how long for the next season.
Yeah, I think to your point too, like when you're watching a couple of these episodes in a row, you almost appreciate those slower moments because it is, your balls to the wall, like I said, from like beginning to end, that it just gets so crazy that you're almost like, all right, let me catch my breath here. Um, yeah, but I don't know. I think they do a good job. I'm never overly critical of like pacing and stuff like that, unless it's like really bad and it's really obvious that they're stretching. Which I think, where Robbie and you have had some issues with House of the Dragon. But to me, I try to just take it as it is, unless it's like really bad.
Yeah. I think that's the issue with the week to week show, because then you start nitpicking, waiting for the next episode.
Yeah.
Whereas when you watch it, you binge it all, it's like,
You
I don't
waited a
know.
week for something that was like, all right.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it was a setup episode. Damn it.
Yeah.
What the F? Um, so considering, I guess, like where we are and it's the last season, um, where do you guys think like this is going, or would you rather kind of talk a little more about specific scenes from the last couple episodes, wherever we want to go?
I quickly just want, like, again with the character development. I mean, there
Yeah,
was some like I didn't like the actor who portrayed A Train early in the series, but I mean, he
fantastic.
was fantastic this season. Really great. I loved every scene he was in. I loved his little story arc. I can't wait to see what happens when he comes back next year. Um, Ashley, I mean, I always thought she was a great actress in the show, but I mean, she took it up a notch this season. Kudos to her. I mean, she really is a great actress. She plays it so well, how the dominatrix that she is, and then how then like she can be that way, and then she can be extremely scared and petrified in other scenes. I love that. I mean, Deep, forget about it. I can't. What can I say about Deep that hasn't been said
That's
already? He's just out of control, the best. I love everything about him. I mean, this show made me feel bad for shout out Tilda Swinton, by the way, for a fake octopus. I mean, I mean, how could you? It's like I don't know. It's great. Uh, Starlight. I mean, Starlight in episode, I guess 9 and 10. I mean, some of the best acting I've ever seen her do on this show. It was really, really great. Definitely knew that when that girl touched her in the bar that she was definitely a shapeshifter. So, but and then shot like, yeah, I got on Yui, I get it, but shout out him. I mean, the guy lost his dad. His dad turned into a fucking raging, killer, and then he had the hard choice of having to basically, kill his dad, and then the man just is getting sexually assaulted, um, you know, in back-to-back episodes, which was, I might get canceled. Typical female getting mad at him. He had no idea
Right?
She
annoyed.
forgave him pretty quickly though.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. I don't want to alienate the female audience, but chill out, chill out. I mean, you got on the guy. The guy had no idea he was banging somebody else. But even like the Kimiko finally talking, what a shock that was. I love Frenchie, man. Yeah,
Um,
his this year was like whatever with him, but I love his character. I love the actor. I think he's great as well. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Newman, Stone Cold Fox, sad to see you go. Love her acting as well. And then, you know, Mother's milking everybody, but even the kid, I hate children and actors. A big, hater of the children, but I have to give it to whatever his name is. Terry, I don't know his name. I forgot his name.
Ryan.
Ryan. I should know. Sorry.
That's okay.
And then again, my flowers to Homelander and Butcher.
Best.
And even Sister Sage. I'm sorry, she's great too. Everybody's great. Everybody's
Everyone's great.
fantastic. Really, truly, everybody's great. And
Even
yeah.
Firecracker,
Firecracker, I forgot about her.
he was great.
She's great as well.
I mean, she's clearly gonna die soon, I guess.
But what happens when you get your
Take
breast
medicines
jugged up
and
with
make-
some milk?
Yeah. Wow.
Obviously giving flowers to Antony Starr and Homelander, but I almost feel like they left some stuff on the table with him this season. I mean, I get it. Next season's probably gonna be very Homelander heavy next year, but I feel like we didn't get enough of him the last couple episodes. Like we obviously got, him kind of understanding the fact that he's not as smart maybe as he thinks he is when he's at the party with that heritage thing. And then I mean, shout out to Sister Sage too. I love that last scene we get between Homelander and Sister Sage, with Homelander showing a little, I guess, humility and being like, why are you being nice to me? I threw you out like the trash and all that kind of stuff. I wish there was a little more Homelander stuff there, but there were so many things going on in these last few episodes, with the shapeshifter, with the president, with Butcher and Ryan. And so, there was probably not enough screen time to give everybody as much time as they deserve, especially Homelander, who's like the best character in the show. But yeah, I was missing a little bit of Homelander. Like, felt like he's a little stagnant the last couple episodes.
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of waiting on a crazy moment from him where he just goes on a killing spree or something like that. Typical Homelander. You never know what you're gonna get with him type thing. But yeah, he was a little tame where he wasn't into. He was just kind of not really behind the scenes. But I totally understand what you're saying. He wasn't.
But I mean,
front
that
and
was the
center.
story they were telling a little bit this season, where he's like kind of coming to grips with where he's at. He's getting older. He has all these insecurities about himself, and he wasn't sure who or what he was anymore, or if he's still powerful, or I don't know. Like, I get the story they were telling, but yeah, to your point too, like I kind of wish they had like one big moment to send him off on. But I mean, he's the one at the end of the season that you see where, this is clearly his show now going forward.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, the main killing that he did was when he went back to that lab. And I mean, that whole scene was fantastic. But yeah, other than that, it was like almost like he was coming to grips with like being the leader of this organization or company or whatever, and not doing as much of his like superhero shtick.
Yeah.
It's tough being a father, man. You don't have as much time to go, killing everyone on a plane
Exactly.
or whatever.
You
So
don't have
I
time
get
for
it.
your breast milk as much anymore.
No. You got to get it from a coworker because there's no time to be going out in the world searching for that.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I
just the
don't.
only time you have is just putting your gray pubic hairs in the jar.
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't. I know. I think we may have went off from what you were asking about, but did you have like a prediction as far as like how everything kind of comes to an end?
Um, Not really. I mean, I don't know. I think they could go like one of two ways, which isn't really saying much because I think that's what everyone would think is like Homelander triumphs over, but it's like he's left amongst the ashes, or, you know, Butcher and whomever else helps him triumphs over Homelander, which is, I think, what maybe the audience would want to see more. But if we have seen anything on the show, it's there's going to be casualties. It might, there's going to be probably people turning heel or turning face or whatever, back and forth. So we'll see. I mean, I think Sage is up to something more than just helping Homelander. I mean, she clearly capitalized on the ending of this season. Like, how would she have known that Butcher was going to rip Newman in half? Like, she wouldn't have known that. Or
That's
that the
that annoyed me.
right, or the assassination attempt would have failed, or like all these things. There was too many things that she would have known, but maybe she is smart enough to basically
Capitalize on it.
trick Homelander into thinking like this was all part of her plan.
Yeah.
So, but I think, yeah, I think I don't know where it's going, but I'm intrigued to see where it does go.
Word of the day.
That's all right.
Oh, word of the cinch.
And
Yeah.
I did want to not to just make the same point as Robbie did, but it was a really good point, and definitely want to give him his flowers. But A Train, like you said in this season, was
Fantastic.
great, and yeah, that's definitely something I'm looking forward to next season as well. Like what's his role going to be?
Yeah, like even that, like what's that dynamic gonna be with him and Ashley now? Now that
Right.
Ashley's got some compound V in her. I mean, she like you saw their friendship kind of grow this season and kind of he's asking her to run away with him, save herself, but she stays and she tells him to take the tracker out, and now she's got some compound V in her and she's ready to rock and roll. So we'll see what happens to her. So I want to see what happens maybe when they come back into the fold, he comes back and sees her in the shape that she's in. So we'll see.
What did was it him that said it or her that said it? Like when they were like, let's go away. And she's like, not the fuck. Just leave.
Yeah. She's something else.
Yeah, the best.
I think I think quickly one of my favorite scenes, and it wasn't a throwaway scene, but when Deep and Dog Noir are walking and they see Sister Sage. And Deep finds out that, Dog Noir's banging a dude. He doesn't lobotomize. She doesn't lobotomize herself to have sex. So it was one of the best moments.
So funny.
Bro,
Yeah,
bro.
Bro.
Deep, but definitely like he's a piece of shit, but like I am interested in like his character. Like I don't know where he's going, what his deal is. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's another one. I want to see what the end game is. I mean, most realistically, it's going to just end up with him dying, but
Right.
I kind of want to see where like his whole arc takes him at the end because there's not a lot of character development with him really at all. He's the same person he was since the beginning. Like a little bit, he's feeling himself a little bit more now. He's not as timid, but there's no real change in his character. So I kind of want to see where that ends up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quick
I'm excited
question
for
for you
that.
guys. So like, didn't it seem I got something in my eye? Didn't it seem like
Compound V.
Compound V? Um, so like sometimes the Deep seemed like he was super strong, or like Starlight, or like certain superheroes that I didn't think had like any kind of super strength, like do.
I think you just kind of you're definitely super strong.
Like
Regard
regardless, like if he
definitely
got the V.
compared to like compared to humans, you're definitely super strong.
Okay.
but it's just like you have other powers too. But it doesn't seem like Tech Knight really had much super strength. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but he seems like he got killed pretty easily by Black Michael Caine in the basement. He just got choked out.
Yeah. I don't know. I just the last like couple episodes, I felt like there was a couple fights, like even Starlight fighting with either Firecracker or um her the shapeshifter. Like it just seemed like all of a sudden she's like got all this strength. And I mean, I think the last scene with her like absolutely blasting off, we're gonna see a lot more Starlight and maybe like some stronger powers from her.
Yeah, like she didn't have her, I guess, like feature power for pretty much all the whole season, but she still could kick ass and she could still take a punch.
All right. Fair.
Do we want to give plum scores on the season? Are we prepared for that? Maybe like a full season plum.
I mean, my plums are full if we want to do that.
I'm ready to unleash my plums.
Unleash the plums, baby.
Unleash
I got
them,
backed
babe.
up plums right now. I got backed up plums. I don't want to go first.
You don't want to go first? Ryan, go first.
Ah, you sons of bitches. I think I'm gonna go for the season as a whole, 9.2. I really enjoyed this season a lot. Um, I think I think season one still might be my favorite, and season two is also extremely good. Season three is not as good, but still good. And then I think four, so it'd be like 1, 2, 4, 3 as of right now. Or
Robbie.
maybe 1, 4, 2, 3. But regardless, I really like this season. Again, sad that we gotta wait for the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 9.1 for this season. I love this season. I loved it more for the character development from everybody. And again, like I said, I thought everybody was phenomenal in this season. Everybody acted their ass off. Some of the shit that they came up with. I mean, the skating scenes, the human centipede fucking scene in the steam room,
Yeah.
the flying sheep, Butcher. I mean, uh, Yui getting raped. I mean, unbelievable stuff. I didn't find any episode, dull or boring or an episode that I hated. Yeah, there was some better than others, obviously, but just this entire season was fantastic, and I can't wait for next season.
Yeah. Agree. I thought, sorry, quick, Benny. The only episode I thought that sticks out that I was kind of like about was actually the flying sheep episode, which you just called out. Like, it was crazy, it was wild, but I was like, come on, what is this? This is kind of stupid.
Yeah, that's the one
Giancarlo.
thing.
But
He
yeah,
did
it
get
had him in it, so then it was good.
I'm gonna go, and this I'm just gonna go 9 flat. Not that I found anything wrong with it. I really do think that this was kind of the most complete season from beginning to end. I feel like where last season it was like a lot of like shock value stuff, and it was like, oh, this is what the boys is known for. Of course, I enjoyed it, but this was the season that had a lot of gore, but also the story, also the character development, also it's a cliffhanger. But they also didn't just bank on the season being a cliffhanger, and that was the main goal of it. There was a lot of stuff that happened. Fantastic guest characters: Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Tilda Swinton,
Best.
just just great. I mean, Ryan mentioned, Robbie mentioned, I liked Ryan's as an addition this season as like an actual like character, like everybody that they brought in, I feel like really brought something to the table. And yeah, I thought it was really, really good. And, I'm going to leave it at 9 because I'm really hoping that they like land the plane hard next season and I can go higher than that. So I'm going to leave some room for the final season.
Right. Yeah. And real quick, speaking of Ryan, I'm curious where he's gonna go. He just killed Grace, which is basically like not his mom, but like sort of kind of raised him.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go over well in his brain.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know where he's gonna go, man, because he's like definitely afraid of his dad.
Yes.
Could he potentially reunite with this new version of Butcher? Because Butcher didn't like, yeah, he kind of tried to trick him, but he also let him go when he
Right.
said that he wanted to go. But Butcher now probably thinks I've seen the worst of Ryan now too. So are all these people just evil? So there's a lot of stuff going on there. It's going to be interesting to see where Ryan lands in this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Ryan might kill Homelander.
You think
That's
so?
my prediction. That's my prediction. Like I predicted A-Train to screw the boys over this year. How'd that work out?
Well, I mean, he might see truly the worst side of Homelander these next couple months with him in charge of basically the country.
Right.
So, that could end up being the final battle where like Homelander kills Butcher or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think anything's gonna come about with the vaccine, or that's just gonna be whatever? Just hanging over the entire season, nothing big comes out of it.
The virus.
The virus, I'm sorry.
I think they'll try. Someone will try to do something with it.
But they're all leaving. They're all leaving the country or try to.
Wow, they all got most of them got arrested.
Yeah. I
What
kind of
was
forget because it was so like the montage at the end. I almost forget that like happened.
Just quickly, what was like the person who whispered, like, what is that? What's her power? Like whispering in Frenchie's ear.
So she is from that show Gen V. And yeah, so if she whispers in your ear, like whatever she tells you, you will then do. So if she's like, Robbie, go do stand up 69 step.
Oh, please.
Then you would just go do it.
She doesn't have to tell me at all.
Yeah, I feel like now Gen V is required watching now. I feel like I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch. I don't know. Anything else you guys want to say about the boys? I feel like we could go on forever, but want to keep it a little short for consumption, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got your plums, you got your high moments. What else do you want from us?
Yeah. All right. I mean, I don't know. Love the show.
Thanks for joining us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Subscribe if you're here.
Yeah.
Please,
You're
we're
here.
here.
Your family.
If you like idiots talking about things, I mean, follow us. We're starting to watch movies again soon.
We're idiots. And we
Yeah,
talk.
you could say I knew these guys before they were super duper famous.
Exactly.
All right. Love you. Thanks for watching. Robbie, tell them good night.
Good night to the boys. Fantastic season. You brought me so much joy this year. Love you, you cunts.
Good night, Vicky. Rest in pieces.
I can feel it down in my plums.
Too soon, Benny.
When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in. My wife says, "No, Gabriel, leave." I say, "No, let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father, the way he learned."